Okay, so if you notice, I'm wearing the same clothes as my last video because this is made about 2 minutes after my last video.
Me too.
We figured while we're out here, we haven't spotlighted the does and wethers yet, so we're gonna do that today. So I'll put the videos out separate though. So you'll see me wearing the same ratty shirt as the last video. So today we'll talk about the does and the wethers. Does are female goats, wethers are male goats that have been fixed. So they can't have babies, that's why we put them together. And once they're fixed, they're completely tame, mellow, they don't stink, they don't pee in their mouth like the bucks do. They're perfectly gentle, great pets, great livestock to have on the farm if you want to clear your land. They don't. These ones are all small. So the breeds we have are, come on, give me a camera.
We have a mini Nubian.
So we have a mini Nubian. So the mini Nubian is Ruby.
Right here. This is Ruby, our baby. She's a mini Nubian.
So
She's a sweetie.
what is a mini Nubian? What's it mixed with? How's it mini?
I believe it's a Nubian mixed with a Nigerian dwarf.
Nigerian dwarf. So
Okay.
Nigerian dwarf is a miniature goat breed.
Which we like.
A Nubian is not a mini. A Nubian is a full-size goat, a little smaller than some. Not one of the biggest breeds, but definitely not one of the smallest breeds.
No.
But she's mixed with Nigerian and Nigerian dwarf and Nubian. So that
So
makes
she's a
her.
mini.
So she's bigger than all the others, but she's still smaller than a standard Nubian.
Well, she's bigger than all the others right now.
Yeah. Yes. And we'll get to that.
Yes.
So if you've watched our other videos, you all know Ruby because Ruby tries to make an appearance on every video I make. So she is the sweetheart. She is like a puppy dog out here. She's a terrific goat, and obviously she is a doe. So let's talk about the one right in front of us. So this is, I got to tell about the
That's
collars.
Tom Brady.
That's Tom Brady, the goat.
He's Alpine and Nigerian.
So Alpine is a full-size goat, but he's mixed with Nigerian dwarf.
Excuse me.
We have 3 of these. So we didn't know, the people that sold them to us said they didn't know if they were going to take on the size of the Alpine or the Nubians. And they took
Nigerian,
on
you mean?
Nigerian, I'm sorry. And they took on the size of the Nigerians, which is good because we like the small goats. So let's go over these ones.
That one is also
going there yet.
Alpine.
That one? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I thought that was one of the
No, that's
boas.
an Alpine.
Okay, so this is an Alpine right here. Alpine Nubian mix. All right, Tom Brady.
Yes.
He's a wether, so he's been fixed. Can't have babies. That is Willow.
She doesn't let us come near her.
We think probably the most beautiful goat we have. She is just gorgeous, but she's stuck up. She won't let us touch her. She does not like us at all.
Here.
She's
We've had
also,
her since she was a baby.
yeah, we've had her since she was a baby, and she has not warmed up to us.
She looks like a deer.
She's Alpine and Nubian mixed. So again, Alpine's a large breed, Nubian's a small breed. She took on the size of a Nubian. I keep saying Nubian. Nigerian,
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm not going to edit that out because I just stumble over my words. Nigerian,
Okay.
Alpine and Nigerian. And then we have one more. Is it this one?
The boar. Oh, I
that-
think it's Mr. Thomas.
Is he Alpine?
I believe.
I believe so, right?
Yes.
Alpine, Nigerian, Mr. Thomas. Now, I would say that the Alpines just aren't very friendly, but he, in the past few weeks, has become super friendly, huh? Huh, buddy? Yeah. You become super friendly. He licks me like a puppy dog. He was doing this yesterday, too.
Me too.
So he's turned into a sweetheart. Again, so he's fixed. So once you get the males fixed, they're tame and under control, right? That's what all women say, right? You just got to cut them in there.
No, you just gotta train the boys.
Just gonna cut your men and train them, and then they act good. Okay, so those are our Alpines and Nigerian mix. Next we have our, you want to do the Boers?
The Boers that are getting better.
So we have 2 Boers, females, does.
They're right here.
That's 1, 2 right next to each
That's
other.
Penny Lane, and
They're not super friendly either.
Lucy in the Sky with diamonds.
We've had them since they were 7 weeks, and there's Ruby again, yeah. They're super soft, they feel great.
I love them. They're beautiful.
They've gotten a little better that they don't typically run from me all the time now, but they're still not super keen on me petting them. And I mean, we've always, I don't know why, we've been nothing but kind and gentle with them.
They will eventually.
Yeah,
They're still little.
but they're Boer goats. They will be full-size goats. They'll be the biggest ones we have.
And they'll sell for good money.
Yes, we got them to breed. Our plan is to keep them and breed them with a male. We had a male, but we don't have him anymore. The full-size buck, the bower, full-size bower, those bucks get really, really big. If you're a newbie at owning goats like we are, I think we made a mistake by getting him. He was more than we could handle.
That was Cyrus.
That was Cyrus. Yeah, they haven't seen Cyrus on camera, I don't think. That's an unfortunate story, but so I don't know. We'll have to rent a buck to impregnate them.
So this one and this one over here.
They'll sell for good money. Now, keep in mind that we don't plan on doing this, but keep in mind that this would be the goat that you would harvest for meat. You can harvest any of them, but this would be, I think, the Boers are the most popular and ideal to harvest for meat because they get so big.
But I won't be eating any of the goat.
Yeah, that's not our plan. So if other people are going to buy them from us and eat them, that's fine. We're not against that. It's just not something that we do. That's all. We eat plenty of our livestock. We're not against it. So those are the Boers. Now we have both of these, Gypsy
and Freedom. And I think they're both pregnant.
Hopefully they're both pregnant.
Look at her little bangs. She's got curly bangs.
Little curly bangs.
She's a
Gypsies,
sweetheart.
they're both sweet.
They are.
Yeah, they're both sweet.
Hi, Freedom. These are, this is a silky Tennessee fainting goat, myotonic goat. And the spring is coming now, so we'll be able to wash them and brush them because she's all nappy from the snow.
Yeah.
And he is just a fainting goat. I mean, she is just a
Tennessee fainting goat. Just not a silky.
Not a silky. This is a silky.
Silky because of the hair.
And I think they're both pregnant. And
Hopefully.
I think Ruby's pregnant. And I think, who else is pregnant?
Oh, here's one of the Boers. They're so soft. They don't like to be touched.
And then, Gemini. Gemini's pregnant.
Gemini is the other sweetie. So I'm sure she's in a lot of my videos too because she is like Ruby. I'm pretty certain she's pregnant because she's huge and her back is really flattened out.
And then this one.
And Ruby is hopefully pregnant.
Yeah. Their room is on their left side.
Gemini is, so we haven't talked about them. So Gemini is straight Nigerian dwarf.
Came with these two.
And these two were her kind of adopted children. They're both a lot younger. She was 2 years old when we got her, right? Or a year and a half?
Yeah.
These two were babies. This is Nutella and Wilson. They're both Weathers. She kind of acted like their mother, but she's not technically their mother.
But they all stick together.
But they all kind of stick together. Those three are straight Nigerian dwarf and Alpine, Boer, Nubian, Alpine.
Look at those beautiful eyes. Come here. Come here, Tom Brady. That's Tom Brady.
So,
The goat.
yeah. So like I said before in the other video, we name them because it's easier to keep track of them. That way we know which ones we're talking about. We don't have a whole huge herd of goats, so that you would just number them in that case.
I would probably name them anyways.
So you try to name them anyways.
Because I love them.
No, they haven't. So we're just saying that we haven't noticed them going to heat again. So hopefully they're pregnant. So if you're brand new with goats, and if you're similar to us, where we're city people, city slickers, and we have no experience with livestock, the smaller breeds are great to get. They're super easy to handle. You're not going to be afraid of them. They're small. They're not dangerous. If you wanted some for our initial reason for getting them was for clearing brush. So we wanted does and wethers. We said we wouldn't get any bucks, but we got bucks.
And good thing we did because they're babies now.
Yeah, because hopefully we're going to breed.
It's all babies.
Yeah. So, but if your idea is either to have pets or to clear your land, I mean, clearing the land, yes, is definitely better done with full-size goats. But if you want small goats, they'll do it as well, especially if you don't have a whole lot of land to clear. They'll do it as well.
The Boer and the Alpine.
The Boer and the Boer, which is a full size, and then the Alpine, which is the mini Alpine, we can call it, half Nigerian. They're great at clearing the land. The Alpines are fantastic at it. And then when we got the Boers, are you doing something behind my back?
Yeah.
Then when we got the Boers, they were even better. That's all they did. They didn't even eat the hay. They just stuck with eating all the weeds and clearing the brush for us. So they've been fantastic. So if that's all you want pets or you want goats to clear your land, the minis are great. Again, unless you have a lot of land, then you're going to want to get a full size. But if you wanted just pets, the minis are fantastic. I don't know if I'd recommend the Nigerians, not the Nigerians, the Alpines so much. That they're a little skittish, although Mr. Thomas is half Alpine. He's warmed up to me really good. Nigerian dwarfs are great, and the Nubian is definitely great if you just want pets. And there is the...
She's bougie.
Yeah, the bougie one. She is beautiful, but she's bougie. So what do we give them for... I always say I'm sorry. Yeah, my kids called me out on that. You always say because I don't write a script. I just talk. I just turn the camera on and talk.
I do the vaccinations of all the animals.
Yeah.
And I give the goats CD and T. And I also deworm them in the springtime. Mostly in the springtime and in the summer when it's warm, because that's when most of the bacteria and fungus will grow for worms. Yeah. Other than that, I don't do any other immunizations. We just kind of do it all natural. Yeah. And then if they need natural stuff, sometimes I'll throw pumpkins in there. Yeah. I'll throw like pine needles, like the longer pine needles.
Ponderosa pines.
The ponderosa pines are the best.
Supposedly really good.
Yeah, for the deworming.
So we do the worming springtime when the weather's turning warm and stuff is growing, and then sometime during the summer, right?
Yeah.
August, maybe, something like that. Wintertime, they don't need it because nothing's growing.
But we also rotational graze.
We also rotationally graze. So if you keep them on the same patch of land the whole time, if we kept them in this pen year round, then we'd have to worm a lot more. Let's go in this section, getting the sun right in my eyes.
There's a lot of hawks flying around today.
Yeah, there are.
And to get our chickens.
So if we kept them in this pen year round, we would have to worm them a lot more because they're
in their feces and
so the parasites would be in their feces and they're walking over it all the time. So that is the advantage to rotational grazing. Not only it's good for the land to fertilize the land and maintain it and be a good what's the word I'm looking for, steward of your land, but it's also good for the animals to keep down on parasites.
And another thing, if you don't mind me saying, is when we rotational graze them, everybody's probably wondering how we get them there, but I'm sure you do a video on that. But our goats, that's one reason we give them grain too.
So we give them grain once a day, only in the morning, 1 scoop for all of them, for all 11. We don't, because if you give goats grain, that's all they'll eat. That's all they will choose to eat is grain. Gypsy here is like a crackhead when it comes to grain. So when I come in at the evening feeding, when they know they don't get grain, they're not looking for it. Most of the goats are not looking for it because they've been trained now. They know they're not getting grain in the evening. But Gypsy, when I bring the pig feed in, she goes crazy for it. She is right up my butt the whole time because she wants that grain.
But anyways, when we rotational graze them, we will take a bucket of grain, and our goats, actually if we let our goats out here right now, they will come right back.
Yeah.
Like they just follow us. We've trained them to follow us with the grain.
Same thing with the sheep.
And the pigs.
The grain was less than 1% of the sheep's diet. It was just a little bit in the morning, along with the goats, but it trained them. So if they got out, because the sheep will take off. Sheep are timid, they're skittish. Yes, if you have them long enough, they can warm up to you. But for the most part, they're not gonna be cuddly like goats. In general, I know there's exceptions, but in general, they're not gonna be that friendly with you. So if they think you're chasing them, they're a fight or flight animal. They're gonna flee. They're gonna take off. So the grain helps us train them. So we take the scoop of grain and we shake it in the bucket, and they'll come running. So that's why we do a little bit of grain for them. It's not to supplement their diet at all. We don't want them eating a whole lot of grain, and that's all they will eat if you give them that option. It's just to train them so they'll come to us. And the CD and T, I'm not sure what that stands for. Do you remember what that stands for?
I don't know. I don't know. We're new.
We're new. You gotta look it up.
I just know that that's what I gotta get. I think.
And we do give them the copper, right?
Oh yeah, I copper bolus them once a year as well.
Yeah, copper
or
supplement
maybe twice
once
a year. Depends on their FEMCHA.
Yeah. The goats need copper. You have to give them copper.
And you can check
once a
by
year.
their eyes.
Yes, you can look in their eyes. Their eyes should be nice and clear
And pink.
and pink. The sheep, if you keep your sheep together like we did, they cannot get copper. Copper will kill a sheep. So the goat minerals have copper in them. So when we had them together, we gave them sheep minerals because the goats can eat the sheep minerals, but the sheep can't not eat the goat minerals. And since we gave them the goats the copper supplement, it was okay that they were eating sheep minerals.
Well, I give them a copper bolus.
But now we can switch back over to the goat minerals. We give them the minerals. We give them salt lick, which is also good for minerals.
And if you have any ideas of anything else other than that's not immunizations or anything like that, please let us know.
Yeah, yeah,
If we're doing something wrong, like we're new at this.
yeah. We definitely welcome advice, that's for sure. But so far, our goats have been doing pretty good. They've stayed healthy.
And we had them
Maintain their weight.
debudded, but they're growing back. You get scurs.
Yeah, we're not big on the debudding. I don't mind the horns. Again, we're dealing with small ones. I don't mind the horns.
Now with Cyrus.
They're not super sharp, you know. Now Cyrus had huge horns. I mean, huge. He looked like a ram. But his head was going to be a cinder block whether he had the horns or not.
Yeah.
The horns weren't necessarily sharp. They looped around his
Show
head.
them what he did to the gate.
Oh, well, I fixed it now.
I
but
know,
yeah,
but go show the bed.
I talked about it before. He tore that gate apart, knocked it off, literally knocked it off the hinges.
Yeah, he was too much to handle.
So the Boers have horns as well. And then Mr. Thomas there was debudded. So you can either burn the horns or chemically dehorn them or debud them.
I just don't
But
like
his are growing back. They call them skurs when they grow back.
So is
Those a tiny bit, yeah. And so you can really see it with the bucks. So the bucks, those aren't their regular horns. Those have grown back, at least on him. And they're all cattywampus. they're all weird, especially Simple Jack, because they were originally debudded and then they grew back as skurs.
But you got to be careful if they grow into their body, then you have to take them
Yes, and they can be deadly. So we're gonna have to find someone, because we don't know how to do it. We'll have to find someone to
These
remove
were
the
all done
skurs.
before. These
Yeah.
were all debudded when we got them.
Yeah,
And castrated.
yeah. So because they're small, we don't mind having the horns. It doesn't bother us. It doesn't scare us.
Well, they're sweet.
They're super sweet. Yeah. So, well, those are our does and our wethers. And any questions, comments, advice, please comment below. And once again, thank you for watching.
Thanks. Click and subscribe.